Hi guys, this is Melgund pool at Finavon Castle Water on the South Esk. Really lovely pool. It's one of my favourite salmon pools anywhere on earth. It's a beautiful pool, a very productive pool. Get a lot of fish out of it. It's had some changes over the winter time with the big winter floods that we've had. And it kind of swings and roundabouts. Some parts of it aren't quite so good, and some parts of it are, if anything, a little bit better. So I'm going to fish this from the north bank today, which is a little bit more tricky than fishing it from the south bank, but it fishes since the currents changed a little bit during the winter. It actually fishes really neatly from this side now. We've had a few springers out here this year. We've had 3 out here, I think, so far, and lost one in this pool. So we'll have a run through it with the fly and see if there's anything to come out. So I've got set up the standard 11 6 910 switch rod. It's a powerful but very responsive rod. Really nice rod, floating line, and an intermediate tip, 10-foot intermediate tip with a fairly short cast to just let it dig in a wee bit. And I've got a tube here, just a kind of well, I suppose it's a gold-bodied willy gun with plenty of flash in it, as is my personal want. So I'll get down just a wee touch in this deep channel that we have in here. So I'll start with a short line. And just let that kick round into the channel on a short line to begin with. See if anything's at home. We've had 2 springers today so far. We've had one from Craigo Stream on the upper beat, and we've had one from Tall Muir, which is kind of 3 pools down from here. It's nice to get one out of there because that's a pool which looks on face value like it's improved in the winter floods, and so it's nice to get one out of there to hopefully begin to quantify that. We've got a deep channel quite close in this side in Melgund. Just lengthen that line. See if there's anything at home that wants to know about it. I'm putting that quite well across there so that the flies have time to get down by the time it gets into the deeper holding channel, which is just about there. Start slowly working down. This has always been a reliable pool. I was a little bit concerned after the changes to it during the winter that it was kind of going to be a little bit spoiled, but from what we've seen so far this season, maybe isn't going to be the case. It looks like it's going to be okay after all. Say particularly as we get down to the tail, if anything, it's better than ever down there. It's a really nice tail. There's Finn enjoying himself. Okay, Finny? Good lad. Nasty upstream wind there, which isn't particularly helpful or pleasant. Just like that. There's good lies all the way down this pool. I'll say to people that the tail kind of begins just at these posts here, and at that point, the posts downstream of me down here. At that point, the depth in the pool kind of broadens out, and there's lots and lots of big lie stones and boulders and lots of hidey holes in that tail for fish to sit in, and it's always a good bit. As I say, if anything, during the winter, it has, if anything, improved itself a little bit. There's one particular bit further down where there's a big deep scoop on the other side. It never used to be there, and we've had two fish out of there, in fact, this season. The first one we got was out of that hole, and we had another one and lost another one out of the boat, and the water was big in that hole. So it's looking good. It's a lovely pool to fish. It's a pool where you can always feel like you've got a chance of picking a fish up. We're into May now, but the water's still pretty cold. Overall it's been a cold spring, and actually an unusually wet spring as well, which is probably why we've had a reasonable spring run. Because there has been water at different times, and every time there has been water we've had fish, so that's been great. But yeah, we are into May now. This is suddenly starting to green up both ways. I'm fishing this pretty slowly because the water is still pretty cold, but it won't be long before I start fishing a little bit squarer and speeding things up, a bit more hand lining, what have you. Starting to cover some of these big boulders that I was telling you about in here now. That upstream breeze is making this quite unpleasant. Manageable, but think it was the year before last, we had a springer. It was a mayfish as well, actually, and a bit of fresh water just from this point here, and it was about, I think it was 20, 21 and a half, I think, from memory. Big spring fish. And we're just coming through that big deep hole, the big new hole. Just now. We'll just wait till that gust's blown itself out. This height, it's just going to be another couple of casts in here, really. The bigger water, you can take this much further down. That'll about do it in here. So, no luck in Melgund today, but it is a lovely pool. Very reliable pool. There's a bit more water in it. This is a tail that you kind of fish more in expectation than in hope a lot of the time. It's a really good pool. That's Melgund.